up, man?
What's going on?
Excited, man.
Yes, indeed.
Long time. So before I introduce who you are, as if you need an introduction, I have my first question I want to ask you. A quick Google search will say your net worth. No, I'm kidding. What's up, guys? We're super pumped.
Where we were going with that one.
You have Lecrae in the building. We're super pumped. You got a lot of stuff going on, but when do you not have a lot going on?
That's true.
Yeah. So that's kind of, you know, perfect on brand for you. So it's funny, when I have conversations with people, I cannot help but start with like the origin story. And I know you're probably tired of talking about it, but give me, where were you at? Give me the moment, the memory you was like, hey, I think this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Making music, or maybe it didn't start with music. Maybe it was, you know, a lot of times it's poetry or whatever. Like where was the defining moment of Lecrae is going to be a rapper?
I always loved rap music, you know, since I was like 5, 6 years old. You just watching rap videos with my cousins, my older cousins. So I fell in love with it as a pre-K, as a kindergartner. You know, I think when it became like something I knew I wanted to pursue, it's probably around 5th grade. And me and 2 other friends started a little rap group. You know, it was called Cray La Cool.
Cray La Cool.
Yeah, and we were like the thing in our elementary school. You know, everybody was like, man, they got it. Right. You know, and I was like, man, we might have something. And then one of the members, Corey, he moved to South Carolina, so it was just 2 of us, and we did a block party. I'll never forget. We did a block party and destroyed the block party. Everybody was like, these 2 kids are killing it. I was probably 13. And then at 14, I did a festival, and I won. Like it was a competition, a rap competition, and I won at 14. I think that's when I knew, like, this is what I want to do.
Right. Yeah. You knew that's what I'm good. Like not only can I rap, but I'm actually good at this.
Absolutely. Yep.
That's crazy. So when you were around, were there other people doing music? You know, you hear stories of like, oh, there was nobody in our town, nobody in our neighborhood. What made you feel like, okay, I'm good enough to do it, but now I'm going to pursue it? Did you have somebody around you doing
nobody
it?
was doing it at that age, you know, and then, you know, you're talking about a kid who, the 3 places that I lived by 14 was Houston, Texas, Denver, Colorado, and San Diego, California.
Oh, wow.
There was no rap scene that was big in that era. You know, like late 2000s, mid 2000s, Houston blew up.
Sure.
San Diego and Denver is still it's still nothing. Right. So, I mean, there's people there doing their thing, but there's no spotlight on it. So I didn't see anybody successful doing it. Yeah. I just, man, I would watch that television and I would listen to the radio and I would just like, nah, I thought I had to move to New York or LA, and I was like, I don't care, whatever I gotta do when it's time, I'm gone, I'm gonna do it.
Right. So 13, 14, I know I can do this. Yeah. I'm going to do this. But it's so funny, your career is really an anomaly, right? No pun intended. But also your faith informs so much of that. Was that always, or at what point did your faith start to inform how you were gonna rap, what you were gonna rap about?
No, if I played you some demos from back in the day, bro, you'd be like, this man has no faith.
Hilarious.
You know, faith wasn't I didn't grow up in church. So my mom, she grew up in church and she experienced a lot of church abuse. So for her, it was like, I don't want to expose him to that. Sure. So I grew up a free thinker. I grew up just kind of like Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Black Panthers, W.B. Du Bois, a little sprinkle of MLK, like, read and learn. That was the kind of the mindset that we had. So it wasn't until, you know, I became a Christian as a young man. You know, I was a freshman in college when I met the Lord, that I was like, man, I had this spiritual transition. I got to transition my words. You know what I mean? Yeah. And a key album for me at that time was A Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. You know, because for me, I would go back and listen to that and I would hear somebody who was articulating their faith, but in a way that felt relevant to the culture.
Yeah, and I mean, that's such a pivotal album. And I feel like that's kind of what you're building now with the reconstruction. I want to get to that. But it's something about you that always intrigued me. I've literally watched your whole career. The first time I heard from you was on It's Gonna Be Hard to Shut Us Down, Show Baraka's Liars and Lies. That's the first time I was introduced to Lecrae. I was just like, oh, that kid, like, who's that guy? Like, that's I like dope. Him, right? So, but I think about, I've seen, and you've seen it too, so many people come and gone, right? And not just in music, but in our faith. It's almost as this, they tethered their success of their music career to their faith. How did you avoid those pitfalls? Or have you ever had a moment where you was just like, hey, my faith is in this. If it doesn't work, my faith goes down. Walk me through that a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think that started to happen until I experienced success. So my faith was strong when I started. And success to me wasn't about bigness, it was about impact.
Yeah.
And so that's still who I am today. I think I took a detour for a little while, but success was always about impact. And so when I really got started, I was rapping at a juvenile detention center every weekend.
Wow.
And that was my fan base. That was my core audience. And as long as they liked the music and they were impacted by it, I was doing my job.
Right.
When it wasn't the kids in the detention center, it was a Christian sports camp in Missouri. And, they bust in kids from some of the roughest parts of America. And if they were tracking with it and it was impacting them, then I was doing my job, right? Yeah. So, I mean, I went years without without success.
Sure.
But that wasn't what I was chasing. So it wasn't until I experienced success that I thought, oh, maybe my walk with God is the reason why I'm here. And then you start getting it convoluted as if it's because of your relationship with God that all these great things are happening, when in reality it's like, there's people who love God just as much as you do who are in impoverished situations. And so God does bless us physically and financially, but it's like if he's doing that generally, he's blessing you to bless somebody else, not just for you to be like, look at me, I made it.
Yeah. Was that something that you seeing your peers deal with? Was that hard for you? Was it like, did you walk with any of them? Was those conversations awkward? Did it strain any relationships?
In terms of the success, or
like, so you succeeded and they're like, oh man, like I'm better, I rap better than Lecrae, I'm just in third, but they're not seeing the same results and then falling away from the faith.
The funny thing about jealousy is nobody wants to admit it. You know what I'm saying? Like people are jealous all the time, 100%. But no one ever says, I'm so jealous of you. Like they lash out, they show their true colors. But people never say, I'm so envious. Oh my gosh, I can't stand you because you're better than me. Or I don't know why you made it. I'm better than you. They don't say that.
Right.
So I can't assume anybody's motives. I'm sure that was living in the hearts of people, but I can't assume anybody's motives and say, that's what they were dealing with. That's what they were going through. I just remember one artist, he admitted it years later. When we were on tour, I was an opener, and every night I was killing it. And this is at the time we were selling physical CDs, and every night my CDs were gone. And later on, he was like, I was so jealous that your CDs were flying, and you were the opener. Right. And I was like, all right, okay. I would have never known that, though. Right. Yeah.
Why do you think let's be honest, there's not another Lecrae, especially not if we put it in the box of CHH, right, or Christian hip hop. There's not really another person who has had your level of success for as long as you have it. Why do you think that is?
I mean,
be honest, because I know you the humility is going through your face.
I'm being sincere. I think obviously it's all a God element. We know that, right? It's all a God element. But I think he takes certain ingredients and uses those ingredients in a person's life or their story to shape them for a particular thing. Right? So it's like, in the Bible, Joseph was always going to be a leader over his brothers, but he took the ingredients of who Joseph was and put him through that turmoil and that pain so that he could become that person. I think the ingredients for me was I was always curious. I didn't grow up with a dad, right? So I was always like, I felt like I didn't know enough. I don't know what this is. I don't know what that is. I was a latchkey kid. I stayed at home by myself a lot. So I just was not around older people to give me wisdom and insight. So I was curious. I was immersive. I wanted to be in the scene. I think because of that, I I never think I have it figured out. I'm always learning. And when you're a learner, you're a leader. And I think because I'm always asking questions, trying to learn, trying to figure stuff out, it opens doors for things to get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to learn how to be a better artist. I want to learn how to be a better businessman.
Yeah.
So a lot of that is that.
Yeah, I love that. And I mean, you've opened doors. I think that's a lot of people upset. Oh, you could have did more. You could have did that, right? But I feel like as you got bigger, did you feel an obligation to do that? Was that out of guilt, or was it just out of like, okay, like it's time. I know who I am. Was it like, walk me through the thought process of when you decided it was time to start doing that? Especially for the younger people, because you kind of always had collabs and put people on, right?
Yeah, when the success started popping off, like you go back to when I had the, #1 album on Billboard, right? It's like, all eyes on me. Now, out of insecurity, I was like, hey, I want to put people on, but I only want to put dope people on because the world is watching me, and I'm too insecure to look bad in front of them, right?
Wow.
So, I mean, some of it is okay. Some of it is like, we want to put our best foot forward. But some of it is like, my identity was wrapped up in that. Like, dog, I would put you on, bro, but you kind of love the Lord, but you kind of,
you got whack.
You all right. Not even whack. You're just not at that level that I know they looking for. And so I had to fight through that. So at one point in time, I was just cherry picking.
Okay.
And the people would probably say I could have did more, right? As I got older, more confident, more mature, I'm like, yo, how do I get this person exposure, this person exposure? How do I put them on? And it's still, if it's dope, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people do get upset, like, why you haven't signed me or checked me out or done this? And I'm like, I don't like your music. I mean, it's subjective. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
I think I have pretty decent taste. Like Andy Mineo's done well, KB's done well, Hovey's done well, like Limo Blaze. Like I think I have decent taste. Yours didn't make the list.
So. No, I love that. And I think we have to be that way. Like, there has to be a standard of excellence in what we're doing, right? So, I mean, you've got so much music, new album. How different, and we're going to get more into that, but how different do you feel, or where you are putting this together, or is it any different from when you did Anomaly, when you did Gravity, where it was like the highest highs, right? And do you feel like you're in competition with those highs?
I don't feel like I'm in competition. I know that those albums' success, I'm not saying they weren't good albums, right? They were good for that season. They were good for that time. And the other thing about those albums is there was a galvanization of a particular stream of Christianity. Like at that point in time, all Christians like were in one big huddle.
Sure.
Right? They weren't siloed like they are now.
Yeah.
Politics has siloed everybody, right? Like, oh, you don't vote like me, I'm over here. You're over here. Racism has siloed Christians. So it's like you got politics, you got racism, you got scandals that's just making people, there's not this central, like when you think about it, there used to be a Billy Graham or Martin Luther King, like who's the central Christian voice? There's not a person, you know what I'm saying? Some people like, oh, I like Michael Todd, I like Philip Anthony Mitchell, I like, Sarita Jakes. Like there's no central person that everybody says that's our Christian leader. So when I dropped my music, it was like I dropped it in the center of when everyone was all gathered in one place. So they all ran and flocked to it. It was successful. Where I'm at today, the team is stronger. They're way more skilled. They're advanced. I mean, I would put my team against any major label's team any day. The team is stronger. The relationships are deeper. I have real relationships in the industry now to where it's like, I know these people.
Right.
And I have more in my rear view than in my front now. I have more to pull from than I did back in the day. So it's like, oh, I done seen some things, man. This is an experience y'all ain't heard about. So that's the difference. Man,
I love that. And that's why I'm so excited for people to hear this. The album just released, right? It's just released. So we're excited about that. I like to, when I see you, I see so much more than just an artist though, but I think you're very private. You don't talk a lot about, outside of there. So walk me through a couple of things from, you just mentioned, the central and who the central voice is. Who are you listening to these days? Like what podcasts, what pastors, what music, like what right now has Lecrae's attention?
That's a good question. I tend to listen to people who are probably a little a little off the beaten path. Like I want to, even when I was studying music, I would listen to a lot of indie instead of rap in order to hear something outside of my sphere to help me think different. I can translate that into hip hop. I know hip hop.
Right.
I don't know your language. I don't know your language. So, you know, on a Christian vantage point, I'm like, oh, who's this guy? I've been reading like the Desert Fathers, you know, dead old guys from, you know, Assyria and Ethiopia who just are writing, you know what I'm saying? You know, Abba Salama, Hymanot.
I don't know who any of these people
are.
Right,
but these are like old desert fathers, and it's just like, yo, here's a perspective. And maybe I don't agree with everything they wrote, but I agree with this, and I agree with this. You know, there's different voices in culture that I'm listening to. I like Andy Crouch. He's a thinker, you know what I mean? And I just try to translate that into my world, my culture.
And that goes back to you talking about being a learner and that curiosity that you continue to have even now. You're also a dad. Does that matriculate to your kids? Do you let them listen to a lot of different things? What's that look like? How do you parent social media and things like that?
Yeah, my kids, man, I have, you know, 3 teens.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So for my kids, I want them to experience quality, the beauty of music. I'm not shoving a message down their throat.
Right.
I don't listen to this song because it's got a gospel message in it.
Yeah.
If it's not beautiful, if it doesn't inspire, if you don't see the beauty of God's image on the artist, I'm not pushing that on you. You know what I'm saying? The message of God is lived out in my home. It's lived out in our experience. I share it, we articulate it, you know. My daughter listens to everything on the radio, everything. And then she also got baptized last year. Wow, you know what I'm saying? There's no like, it's all God's. Everything is the earth is the Lord's and everything therein. So we'll navigate it. We'll talk about, hey, what does this lyric mean? Why do you think she wrote that? And then as far as like social media, it's like, I didn't let them get on it until high school, right? Like, so 16 is like my thing is like, all right, now you can get on it, but because I didn't want their identity formed by it.
Yeah, that's good.
So it's like, nah, you don't need to, likes and mentions should not shape you.
Yeah. So I don't want to glaze over that. So your daughter just got baptized. That's dope. Like how, like you said you didn't come to faith till later. Your kids coming to faith at an earlier age.
Crazy.
Like walk me through that moment. Was it emotional? Did you cry? You don't have to tell the camera you cried, but did you cry?
I don't think I cried. I think I was just more like, I'm not a crier. Okay. So that's number one.
We're gonna make you cry before the end of this. I know.
I'm not a big crier. Like it take a lot. Like, you know, I've had too much trauma to just cry at the drop of a dime.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
So, you know, I've seen so much, but I will say like, it was joy and relief. It was both.
Yeah.
The joy was, man, Lord, look at what you're doing in the lives of my children. Relief was, there's nothing I can do to change her heart. Wow. It's in God's hands. If she wanted to be wild out and go do whatever, I can't stop her. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If she wants to be far from God, I have no power. So it was a relief that, Lord, you drew her in, and I'm grateful for that. Yeah. I talk to celebrities, and a lot of times see their kids are not like, they love them, but they're not like fans of them. They're not like, you know, blown away and starstruck by them. Do your kids listen to your music? Have they heard a new album? Have they gave you feedback, and is it critical? Yeah, they're my, they're like a focus group for me. Right. So to them, the album did not just come out. Right. They're like, they live with it. Yeah, to them, this is a year-old project. Right. They were like, good gracious. Right. Like, so it's cool to them to see the outside world, like interact with it. Like my son was in class, and you know, the students at his school don't know I'm his dad. You know, so my son was in class and he overheard some girls say, I'm excited, I'm going to the Lecrae show. And he was like, yo, that's crazy. Like these girls behind me literally talking about going to your show. Wow. Like to him, that's mind blowing. And he gets a kick out of that. My daughter likes the perks. So she like,
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going to the Grammys.
Right.
I took a picture with Billie Eilish,
Yeah.
Coco Jones.
Right.
Like, that's cool for her. And then my youngest son is a fan.
Okay.
He's a fan of like Christian hip hop.
Yeah.
And he's a fan of my music. And, you know, it speaks to where he's at.
That's so cool. Do you still have those moments? So tell me, I want to know, where were you when you heard the Kendrick Lamar name drop? Do you still get geeked by anything? You've been doing it so long. So walk me through the moment first, and then tell me, is there anything that still gets you geeked the way your kids get geeked?
Yeah, I was sitting at the table with my kids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was sitting at the table with my kids. We're eating dinner. We're doing our little, like, give me your highs and lows.
Sure.
How was the day? How was the week? And then my phone just buzz, just keeps buzzing. I'm like, man, what the heck is going on with this? And I'm trying to I'm like, it's family time.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I said, hold on real quick, y'all. And I look, and they like, did you hear it? Kendrick mentioned you. So now I'm nervous.
Right.
Because it's in the middle of a battle with Drake.
Sure.
So I'm like,
like mentioned.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa, what
Right.
you mean? So right when I'm about to open and start.
Was you about to write a diss track right there?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Cut it out. But I'm about to open my phone and start researching. My man, Alex Medina calls me, and Alex is funny. He one of LeBron's creative directors. He's from the Dominican, from New York, but he's the strong Dominican accent. He's like, bro, did you hear? And so I'm like, what you talking about? And he's telling me like that Kendrick, you know, shouted me out in a good way.
Yeah.
So then I went and listened to the record. My kids are all bugging. They was just like, yo, that's crazy.
Right.
You know. But I was grateful.
Yeah.
But it made me process. And I don't get geeked out. I don't, because at my big old age, man, I just have seen so much.
Sure.
And people are just people to me now. Like, I don't see celebrity, I see people. It's funny, I'm always trying to like bring my daughter back down to earth. Like, that's a human.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's like, that's so crazy. Like, Tori Kelly is just in the same room right now. It's like, Tori Kelly is pregnant and her feet hurt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, she's not floating.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm grateful though.
Sure.
I'm grateful.
No, that's really cool. And I mean, that makes so much sense. Again, I feel like that's so on brand for what you're doing. So reconstruction, we went through this whole thing after 2020 where it was a, you know, I guess, I don't want to say it was a fad or a trend because I don't want to be insensitive, but of deconstructing, that was a hot buzzword, right? I know you had your 2 cents about that. I would love to, if you share that again, but then to this point, because I think you were even honest in saying you're deconstructing where it led you to. Could you share with that, where did your deconstructing lead you to? And now talk to me about why reconstruction and where you are in your life with this project. Because this project is a lot more than just music as well. Yeah. You got community element to it. Like, there's a lot of things. Talk to me about those things.
Well, one thing I want to clarify too is like, humanity's been deconstructing since the beginning, right? Like, we all go through a process of deconstruction and reconstruction. It's really like awakening and renewal, you know, awakening and then like disappointment and refiguring things out. And then there's a renewal moment for a lot of us. I think, you know, deconstruction in its healthiest format is not doing away with what you knew to be true, right? Deconstruction in the healthiest way is rearranging the furniture in a house that something's not sitting right. You know what I mean? Let me figure some stuff out. Another way I would say it is, for me, deconstruction is like, the foundation for me was Jesus. Now, traditional millennials, when they deconstruct, they throw Jesus away as well. I'm done with Jesus. I'm done with this whole thing. There must be another truth out there. And, you know, I went there. But the reality I couldn't shake was, if there's no God, then I'm a cosmic accident. I'm just molecules and atoms. I have no purpose. My kids have no purpose. Nothing matters. If nothing matters, how come I'm not living that out honestly? If nothing matters, why don't I steal, kill?
Sure.
Why do I want to fall in love? Why? Nothing matters. So I'm actually borrowing from a biblical framework to live in this way that says I don't believe in the Bible. So that drew me to a place where I'm like, God is real. Right? Now, which God is it? You know what I'm saying? So now I'm like, okay, well, if God is real, who is God? And I went on a spiritual journey of just like, all right, I do believe there is a creator. I do believe I have made with purpose. Which God is it? What I learned is every religion, every one of them, Islam, Buddhism, you name it, you can go down the gamut,
Right.
is about attaining something like nirvana, making your good outweigh your bad. There's some human feat or effort that must be accomplished to do well in that form of faith. Christianity is the only one that admits you ain't got it.
Yeah.
You'll never be able to be strong enough, balanced enough, wise enough, spiritual enough. God is going to have to reach down and pull you up. And that's Christianity is the only faith where God becomes human, reaches down and pulls us up. Now, in acknowledging that Jesus is God, I said, okay, I get it. But this house is still, it got mold in the walls.
Yeah.
The church is telling me that if I vote this way, I'm not a Christian. And I'm like, okay, this is just a bad teacher. So let's get rid of the bad teachers, but not get rid of.
You want to say any names? Kidding.
I ain't gonna name no names. But at the end of the day, it's like the house is just built bad. So we're gonna deconstruct the house. The foundation's good. The house ain't got no doors. Can't nobody get in and out. Tear that house down.
Come on.
Build a better one with doors that people can get in and build some windows so we can see in and out. And cut out the rest of the nonsense. So that was the deconstruction process for me. Yeah. And reconstruction is after you tear them walls down, you got to build on that new foundation.
Yeah. Let's talk about building on new foundation. You've had a long, successful career. Do you ever think about retiring? Do you think about what the second act of what that looks like for Lecrae?
Bro, I think I'm in the fifth act right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be honest, like, you can ask my team, I say I'm done all the time. I say, yeah, this is it. I ain't doing this no more. I ain't doing that no more. I ain't doing this. But I think I think retirement is it's a concept that we subscribe to that I just don't know if Moses retired. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Paul retired.
Right.
So for me, I think maybe that if it's menial work or hard work that you're doing that is taking you away from opportunities or you're not good at it anymore or something along those lines, then maybe it's time to hang it up. If it's stressful, it's draining you, then it's fine. But this idea of like, I just want to sit on a beach somewhere for the last days of my life, that'll never be me.
Right.
Ever be me. You may see me transition into something else, but you'll never see me with my hands on the back of my head, feet kicked up. It's too much work to do.
Got you. So second act will still always include music, you think? Because obviously you're doing other things. Obviously,
podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Podcast is super dope.
I'll never be an actor. I'm gonna tell you that. Nope.
You sure?
Positive.
I got producers back here though. No?
Positive.
Okay,
I'm in movies. Matter of fact, the R&B movie coming out on Netflix by Tyler Perry. I'm in that one.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, but I am not. Acting is too much work. Too much time, too little money.
Right.
Okay, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? Unless you're a big star.
Sure.
But if you're a big star, it's still a lot of work, a lot of time.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So acting's not in there. I'm a bridge. I'm a cultural bridge. You might see me with a radio show.
Sure. Dope.
You may see me, building out the podcast in different ways.
Yeah.
You may see me producing some movies, maybe on something like that.
Yeah.
But creative communication and being a bridge in the culture will always be a thing.
Man, I love that. At this point, new album, you got a lot of new features on there. You want to talk about, so you were talking about are you still very particular about who you put on projects now? So walk me through some of the people that's on the project and if it was something that you've seen or heard was like, oh, I need them on this and why this was a good fit.
The cool part about this album is it's like a journal. It's like this is my real life. These are people that I really interact with.
Yeah.
So that was cool. It's like, there's people that I interact with that I think are dope, and they're on the album, right? So I've known Madison Ryan Ward for years. I interact with her when I see her at events here and there. I respect her music. She's a fan of mine. I had her on a podcast. We left the podcast. We jumped in the studio. Better Sober is the result.
Wow.
I've known Tip and Killer Mike for years.
Yeah.
Like Killer Mike and I did a song 10 years ago. We never put it out.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So these are guys that we just have mutual respect for each other. We talk about real estate. We talk about the city. We talk about family. We talk about God.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is a song that makes sense to put them on that is common ground?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want you to be something you're not.
Yeah.
I don't want to be something I'm not.
Yeah.
So if Killer Mike wants to make a record about, politics, he's not gonna call me
Right.
because that's asking me to be something that I'm not. If I'm gonna make a record about the deity of Christ, I'm not gonna call him because
Right.
I'm asking him to be something that he's not.
Right.
But we can talk about grief.
Yeah.
We can talk about what our people who we've lost believed, and if they are in heaven, what could they hear us?
Yeah.
We can imagine.
Yeah.
So that's how that song came about. And then, there's other people on there. There's some younger artists like Tori Deshawn or Mizo that I'm just like, y'all are dope.
Dope. Yeah.
And I just want y'all to have the platform to shine
Yeah.
because the world needs to hear y'all voice. And I have the ability to let y'all shine.
Yeah. AI in music. I wanted your opinion on that. What you think about it? And are there still collaborations that you want to do? Or is it more of like, how can I leverage what I've already built type of thing?
Here's the thing with AI for me. Two things can be true at once, right? I am a pragmatist and I am an artist. The pragmatist in me is like, does this make my job and my life easier?
Right.
Why would I not employ that?
Yeah.
The artist in me is this robbing us from the human experience of artistic expression?
Yeah.
Right? So I want AI to help me do what I otherwise wouldn't want to do. It gives me the opportunity to do things that I want to do. If AI is giving us freedom, great.
Yeah.
But if it's taking away something from us, it's a problem. That's generally what happens with technological innovation.
Yeah, always.
You invent the wheel, we can go places that we've never gone, but we're gonna be away from home more than we ever were. So
good.
it's a give and take. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and there's still, so I want to ask you about if there's still collabs you want to do, because I was talking with a friend of mine. They said there's so much competition amongst like pastors, and I'm sure there's a lot of competition amongst rappers and things like that. Is it hard to make new friends because of the competition? So talk to me about collabs, and then do you struggle with new collabs because you struggle with new friendships, or what does that look like in your world?
The industry fickle, man. It's just full of fickle people. They mess with you when you hot, and then they don't when you're not. You know what I'm saying? My phone, I drop an album, and then Charlemagne says it should be a rap album of the year, and then Ebro is showing me love. All of a sudden my phone is on fire.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I ain't heard from you in forever, but now my phone is on fire.
Yeah.
So it's just, that's the way the game goes. It's still a business.
Sure.
So it's kind of like, all right, what I generally try to do is develop relationships with people whose art I am inspired by. And then we just talk. And maybe there's a collaboration that comes of it. You know, case in point, recently I was talking with Kehlani. You know, we've exchanged words in the past, but it's like more recently, it's like there's more conversation. I'm learning her as a human, which could mean, hey, maybe there's a song for us. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, historically, I may have just been like, Kehlani, dope, reach out, let's do a record together. It works. It's so much better when it's like, Kehlani, dope, reach out. Who is Kehlani? What is Kehlani excited about? What's your family? What's your mama name? What's your daddy name? Oh man, you know what? What we talking about right now? This could be a record. That always works out better.
Yeah. All right. My last question. I want you to talk to me about the community component, and then there's a tour. So I want you to talk to me about that too. So in the reconstruction, did you lose more friends, or did you find ways to make new friendships? Did you grow in your faith in a way that was different from the last time you walk me through that entire thing? Because I thought the name was really intentional for you as well.
Yeah, one thing I learned is the purge comes before the surge, right? So you're gonna be lonely for a while before people come flocking to you. You're gonna be lonely because you're walking down a path people have never seen. And they're like, yo, you're not on the same path. We've walked all this way together, and now you're going a different way. I'm letting you gonna roll. You by yourself on that one. And it's like, if you know that's where God has called you to be, then you gotta go down that path. Or if you're just in a place where you gotta learn, you gotta go down that path. But once you learn, doubt makes your faith stronger. And once you go down the path of doubt, and now you like, oh, I get it, and you start forging a new way, people are looking like, hey, that actually makes sense. And they all come running. They all come running. And because there's a lot of people out there just like you that you didn't even realize. And so you start waving your hand, and they're like, that's me too, that's me too. And you know, that's you lost a lot in order to gain far more.
Love that. Tell people about the tour and the community part of this.
Yeah, man, the tour is a world tour. We start in the continent of Africa. We go to, Zambia. We go to Zimbabwe. We go to Kenya, Rwanda, South Africa. We hit a few different spots there. Nigeria on my head. Listen, I just came and did a massive festival with like 400,000 people there. I don't think there's anybody left in Nigeria to see me live. So Nigeria got skipped, but there's no love lost. And then we'll hit the States, and then we'll head out to New Zealand and Australia.
Very cool.
I'm excited to bring the tour to people. And in the community, the album is for people. The album is for the community. So we got the workshop where people can learn and get opportunities to, come to the studio and hang out with us. Cool. And there'll be more tools and different things like that, because this reconstruction is about the people. Yeah. It's not about me.
Yeah, man, I love that. Appreciate your time, man. Thanks for being flexible.
For sure.
It was great, man. People are going to be blessed by this. But per usual, though, you're the man, man. So appreciate you.
Yeah, that's dope. Good questions.